Let's talk about something else instead.
You don't look very agile. I could help you.
Maybe it was obvious that there would be trouble.
I can show you how to control your body. It's the art of acrobatics.
There could be trouble ahead. There was a time when things would have gone very differently. Don't listen to all the blathering. Let's talk about. Wouldn't like to be in his yourself. People don't need to know it. Don't listen to all the blathering. Keep it to yourself. People don't need to know it. Maybe. Better not go.
It was obvious there would be trouble ahead.
Maybe.
How are things?
Get lost!
Hey, a new face.
Who are you?
I am Gorn, mercenary of the magicians.
What do you have to do as a mercenary of the magicians?
Lee has made a deal with the magicians. He hires the best fighters to be found in the colony, which means us. We take care that the scrapers can mine the ore without being bothered and keep trouble away from the magicians. The magicians make sure we'll get out of here, and we get a small share of the ore as our pay.
Can I stay somewhere here without having to kick somebody out of his hut?
I don't think so. But if that's really what you want to do, go and see Shrike. He's taken the hut right at the front, at the entrance to the cave. It was empty, but it really belonged to us.
Us?
Well, us mercenaries. Mercenaries and rogues live separately here. And none of Laris's gang should be here, on this side of the big hole. It doesn't make much difference, really, but he didn't ask. And you can't let those rogues get away with everything, because then they get real cocky.
What do I have to do to join the new camp?
Before Lee admits you, you'll have to improve your fighting skills. It doesn't matter what weapon you use, but you have to be good. Besides, you should be very experienced with the life here and everything. If you don't want to go to the other camps, you should try to join the rogues before you start as a mercenary.
Let's talk about something else instead.
See you later.
Hang on. It's the same story every time.
Boring fight.
The fight's been decided.
You won't have much time to be sorry for it. You looking for trouble with me again?
Get lost.
I'll talk to you later. You looking for trouble with me again?
I'm not listening to all the blathering anymore.
That's really not my problem.
It was obvious that there would be trouble ahead.
Shrike has moved to another hut.
Good. Torloff just told me that he wanted to have a word with the guy. See you later.
There was a time when things would have gone very differently.
Some
You
people
have to
never
watch what
learn.
you tell people.
Rely on somebody and you're... As long as I'm not involved... Rely on somebody and you're in trouble. That's how it goes.
You okay?
All's quiet for now.
Let's talk about something else instead.
You
have to watch what you tell people.
Who are you?
I'm Torlov. I was involved in a mutiny as mate of a royal warship. It wasn't such a good idea. The greater part of the crew was on the captain's side. That's how I came to be here.
I'd like to join you.
Lee won't take you on until you get real good. I'm telling you now. And until then, you'd better stay on good terms with Laris and his crowd. You want some advice, boy? Steal something important from the old camp. Or the old mine. As soon as the boys notice that you're against Gomez, you won't have any more trouble here.
And how do I do that?
You need to win their trust, and then you can rip them off.
Must be something about that story after all. Everything you hear. Step aside.
Greetings, magician.
May the blessing of Adanos be with you. I can help you to increase your magic powers or give you some useful items. What can I do for you?
You want to destroy the barrier. How exactly do you plan to do that?
We need major amounts of magic ore. We'll release the entire magic power and a great magic rite to blow up the barrier. Of course, such a big amount of ore attracts a lot of rogues and crooks. That's why we need a man to defend our plan.
Something else instead.
I'd like to join you.
If you want to join us, you should see Lee or Laris.
I'd like to become a magician.
We cannot afford to spread our knowledge among our enemies. We will not even consider instructing you unless you prove your loyalty to us.
Something about that story after all.
I need more magic power.
I can help you to increase your power. Use it wisely.
Same old story every time.
I want to acquire magic writings.
There was a time when things would have gone very differently. You're very probably right.
There was a time when things would have gone very differently.
You have to watch what you tell people.
Same old story every time.
As long as I'm not involved. Hang on. Better not go rushing into anything. That won't happen again.
That was very clever.
That won't happen again.
Reliance.
I'm listening to all the blabbering.
Keep it to yourself. Keep it.
Let's. That won't happen again. Some people never.
Mordrag sent me.
Mordrag hasn't been seen here for some time. He's probably changed over to the old camp.
I came here with him.
Mordrag's back? If you meet him, tell him Laris wants to see him.
Mordrag gave me something for Laris.
What is it?
A ring.
Certainly a precious piece. Okay, you can see him.
I want to join your gang.
Oh, yeah? What have you got to show for yourself, then?
Mordrag sent me. He gave me a ring for you.
A precious piece. It's part of normal procedure here to share your booty with your gang leader. But the fact that he gave you the ring proves that he must think a lot of you. I want you to go to him and tell him something from me. Tell him I want somebody in the sect camp. The Brotherhood is planning something big. I want to know exactly what's going on there.
Let's talk about something else instead. I'm not listening to all the blathering anymore. That wasn't very clever.
Doubt it's ever likely to change.
What else can I do?
Baal Isidro from the sect camp has weed worth at least 400 ore on him. I want you to get it from him. I don't care how you do it.
If you mean the massive heap of weed, I've already got it.
Looks like you've been real smart. If you have the weed, sell it. Bring me the 400 ore. Then we'll talk again to see if you'll be admitted to the gang.
Where can I learn something?
With me, I can help you to improve your dexterity and strength.
I want to better myself.
That won't happen again.
Laris has a message for you.
Tell me about it.
He wants to know what's going on in the sect camp, and he wants you to find out.
I get the feeling this problem will solve itself.
Let's talk about something else instead.
Rely on somebody in your trouble. That's how it goes.
I have the 400 ore.
Good. Very good. I believe that should be sufficient now. If you're good, don't do that again.
Is that enough for me to join you?
Mordrag has spoken up for you, but you're not ready yet. Do your tasks.
Same old story every time.
You have to watch what you tell.
Do you know where you're heading?
Where?
You're heading straight for Lee, our leader.
I'd better keep out of it.
What do I need to do to make you let me see Lee?
Nothing. This isn't the old camp, and Lee isn't Gomez. He doesn't need an army of henchmen to hide behind. He can defend himself. We are only here in case he needs us.
It's obvious. I doubt that's ever likely to change. If you... I'm not listening to all the blathering. I doubt that's ever likely.
How's it going?
As always, making...
You're the boss of the mercenaries, aren't you?
That's right, boy.
Which task do the mage's mercenaries have?
Very simple. Protect the ore, protect the mages. Sometimes the mages have a special task for one of us.
I'd like to join you.
You have a nerve. Do you honestly think I'll just take anybody who walks in here? You can only become one of us after you've spent a certain time in the camp. I'll observe you.
It's the same story every time. It's the same story every time. If you think. As long as I'm not involved.
Probably right. Some people never learn.
Who are you?
I am Nefarious, magician of the Circle of Water.
I'd like to become a magician of the Circle of Water.
Not so fast, my boy. Before we let a young man join us, he needs to have done something great. And he must have served us for some time. If you are really serious, you should join our mercenaries. There you can serve us. And maybe one day, you'll be granted a chance to do something great.
You're very probably right.
Am I ready for the Circle of Water?
Become one of our mercenaries. Then we'll see.
Where can I find Satyrus?
Go through the big round gate. You'll find him there.
Same old story every time.
Maybe. That wasn't very clever.
Let's talk about something else instead.
I doubt that's ever likely to change.
Greetings, magician.
I am Radeon, the alchemist. I gather you want a potion?
Show me your goods.
That's how it goes.
People always talk. I shouldn't believe everything you Maybe.
Hey, you! You've been lucky there.
You! What were you doing in there? Beat it before I beat you!
Well, there was a time when things would have gone very
People always talk.
It's the same story every time.
What are you doing here? You've no business here. Scram! What are you doing here? What are you doing?
Must be something about that.
Same old story every time.
I wouldn't like to be in his shoes, though. As long as I'm not involved. You shouldn't believe everything you hear. I'm not listening to all the blathering anymore. There was a time when things would have gone very differently. There was a time when things would have gone very differently. Same old story every time. I better keep out of it.
There was a time when things would have gone very differently. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes.
Let's talk about something else instead.
Hang on. Better not get something about that story after all.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear. Listening to all the blathering. You have to watch what you tell people. You shouldn't believe everything you hear. I wouldn't like to be in it. You shouldn't believe everything you hear. There was a time when things would have gone very differently.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear, but keep it to yourself. People don't need to know it. It's obvious that there'll be trouble ahead.
I doubt that's ever likely to change.
Must be something about that story after all. There was a time when things
I'm not involved. Let's talk about.
Hang on.
I'm not
Better
involved.
not go rushing into anything.
I want to improve my handling of one-handed weapons.
Of course. It'll cost you, though. I want 30 ore.